Well, hello, this is Peter Combs from Bidamount.com, BidamountLive, and P.O. Combs Asian Art in Gloucester, Massachusetts. And today is Friday, April 9th, 2021, and this is our weekly video. We'll have a look and see what's been going on in the world of Asian art and antiques and auctions for the last week or so. It's been a lot going on, actually, everywhere, and we're going to cover it. And for those of you that might not have seen it yet, we did a video yesterday on the Freeman auction that happened yesterday. We did it as soon as it was over. We were able to screen capture parts of the auction, which we put at the end of the video, and we go through some of the prices. We talked about the sale quite a bit in the weeks leading up to it because we had looked at it and said, boy, there's some nice things in here, and some very nice pieces of Kangxi porcelain. We got a lot of inquiries through the Bidamount site here on the identification and the auction preview inquiry service. People that were interested in multiple pieces from that sale, and we all said about the same thing on each lot that they asked about. It's a good thing, you ought to buy it. And the estimates were very reasonable, and the sale was extremely successful. I think it was 95% of the auction sold, 96% did very, very well, and so forth. As an aside, if you watch auctions online or the big auction houses, if there's something that doesn't sell and you happen to like it, as many of you know, you can actually contact the auction house post-sale and make a deal to buy it. And sometimes you get a very good deal because the consignor just doesn't want it back. They took a shot at the auction, it didn't work out, and they'll take what they can get at that point. So it's sometimes a very good strategy for buying good things. I, over the years, have bought some fantastic things that BI'd, that bought in at high prices, and was able to buy it post-auction for half. Because the people just have to clear up the estate and they'll take what they can get. But at any rate, that was that. A couple of things going on. One of them is on the new site, on the BidamountLive site. We've seen a bit of activity. There's been some sales on there. Somebody had some problems with the checkout, and the issue had to do with the plugins with PayPal, because PayPal's a little bit finicky, and we've been in there and I think we've fixed it. We had somebody that the person couldn't check out, so they contacted us and we arranged for them to buy the item and get the money to the seller, and everything is great. They've been communicating, and I think the seller is in Europe and the buyer was in Hawaii someplace, and apparently a lot of people are looking at the site. About 80 vendors have signed up. And one of the things we did this week, we worked on the amount of time it takes to start and upload. There were a couple of things because of security measures on the site that were slowing down to filter things that were being added, and we found a little better way to do it, so images will upload a little bit better now, a little bit quicker, and creating listings will take a little bit less time. So we made some changes there, so it makes it a little bit easier, because I have somebody that I'm helping put some things on, and I noticed it myself. And we'll continue to work on all this as we go ahead. The site is going to be constantly tuned up, tweaked, and fixed. And as things come in, we'll encounter new things because it's a new site, and we will immediately set about to take care of them, so it keeps growing. All right, and but thank you to all of you that have joined it. And we've gotten a lot of very nice emails from people who are glad we're doing it, and I'm glad we're doing it too. It's actually kind of fun. All righty, now what's going on out there? One of the things I wanted to mention was Bonhams. Has a sale. It's an online-only sale that ends on the 15th of April. And if you're a Republican, late Qing Republican period porcelain buyer, you want to see this sale. It's being held out of their Los Angeles office. It's a live sale. It's an online sale. And there's some very, very lovely Republic and late Qing pieces on here. Porcelains especially, some very nice examples. These are all from that era, as you can see, but they're all very, very good, high-quality things. And the estimates and so forth all look pretty reasonable. This is very nice Rulu vase, Qinlong mark, but probably Republic period, with a $2,000 to $3,000 estimate. It's a very, very nice example. And there it is right there. This is a nice one. Very, very pretty, beautifully enameled, sort of gem-like enameling on it. Very, very nice. This kind of thing you're going to see on there with reasonable estimates, $2,000 to $3,000. Probably got maybe a reserve on it of $1,500 or something. So check that out. And on down the page. There's about 160 or so lots. There's monochromes. There's a number of good snuff bottles. If you're a snuff bottle buyer, you want to check it out, because some of the snuff bottles are a bit earlier too. They're Jiqing, Daoguan period, mid-19th century snuffs. Also some jades, rather nice ones, and so forth. So check that sale out. It's worth looking at. All right, and then on other news, what's been going on, things that have come up. These are now on the global member pages. This sale popped up this week. This is Tremont auctions right here in Massachusetts, and the company is run by two men I've known for 30 years. Brett Downer and Jim Callahan, rather. Jimmy Callahan actually lives near me, and if you watched Roadshow, you probably saw him on there a number of times. He used to be the Asian art guy for Skinner in Boston, and he set out on his own, and he and Brett started Tremont a number of years ago at this point, and they have some great things. And this is one of the things they have. And if you're looking at this and wondering what it is, this is a Chinese plate, but boy, it looks like Japanese, doesn't it? Just absolutely wonderful. And this is 17-inch piece, so it's technically a charger. Beautiful looking iron red on it, nice deep dark cobalt blue, and then you have the flower and vase pattern in the middle. A very unusual plate, really unusual. And the estimate is even better, $300 to $500. I think it'll bring a lot more than that. I hope so. But it's a very unusual piece of Chinese porcelain, even though it looks Japanese. Just great. And there are a number of good export plates in this sale, like this very nice armorial 18th century Chinese export dish, beautifully done. This is also in that same sale. The estimate on this is, $200 to $300. Very reasonable. Their estimates are quite reasonable across the board. And then there's this, a very unusual Chinese export gilt bowl. I think they have two of these in this sale, but really well done. 18th century, very nice enameling all the way around with cows on them and stuff, Western subject matter. And then it has the interior that is more typical of 18th century, circa 1770 bowls. So check that out. Estimate $3,000 to $5,000. I don't think that's bad because the subject matter is extremely unusual on it, with Western livestock, Western, European American livestock and so forth. And then over here to this is another sale. This is who's doing this sale? I forget. Let's check it first. This is Twents Veilinghuis. They have this very big early Edo period, mid-Edo period, Japanese Amari vase with a guanyin or a seated figure on top, beautifully enameled, nice looking pot, 24 inches tall. This sale comes up in a few days. It's a very, very nice looking thing. It starts tomorrow, so if you're looking at it, get on it. $800 to $2,400 estimate. That means the €800 to €2,400 estimate, so the reserve might be $600 or $700. But a fabulous piece of Japanese Amari, 65 centimeters tall. That's a very big pot. Very nice. And this is also, this is another piece at Tremont that I wanted to show everybody. This beautiful Arms of Chapman with the brilliant rose-colored enamels on it and so forth. Looks to be in very, very nice shape. But always get condition reports. $300 to $500 estimate. And then this is coming up. This is a sale this is Alex Cooper down in Maryland is having this. This is a very attractive Japanese silk needlework that's been framed with the chime at the top and the twin fish and the flowers and all that. A very nice looking thing, very atmospheric, but it looks to be in good shape. It's got a few pulls here and there, but I love the surface. I just love the surface on that silk. And estimated at $400 to $500. It's got one bid of $200. It starts tomorrow. Check that out. If you could buy that for under $1,000, you get a nice buy. And also this a very nice 19th century view of a merchant's house, Chinese export on paper. This is at Freeman's. This is coming up in 17 days. They have another sale with some nice China trade things in it. And this is a particularly nice example, this painting, and beautifully framed. What a great package. And there's a detail of it right here. And you've seen this scene before. There was a similar set of paintings that were up a couple of weeks ago where it was porcelain makers. And the artist, it may even be from the same artist studio, had the same background, but there was a desk over here with a figure in it examining porcelain, and they had drying porcelain on the foreground. Because that's how they did them. They would get a scene that they were favorable towards that showed a Chinese life, and they sometimes would reuse that same scene almost identically. Any rate, this has got a $600 opening bid, $1,200 to $2,200 estimate, and it's good size. It's 20 by 15 image size. The painting is 20 by 15. That's rather a large one. It's probably on English paper by the looks of it. All right. Now over to Bidamount, the newsletter page where we find things and put them on here each week. And those of you that subscribe get the update as soon as we post it. We'll do that later on today on Friday, of course. And what happened here last week? Well, a couple of things. One was this. This was a very, very nice first half of the 19th century Daguan period export plate. I love the horse on it, but the enamels were very, very brilliantly done. Very bright, strong enamels, and it looked to be in just about perfect condition. Very, very fine condition. Nowhere, anywhere that I could see. No chips, no damage. Tiny bits of rubbing to the gilding around the edges, and that's it. Nothing else. And the figures are outstandingly well drawn. They had included a good image of the back. And when you see these early fine Chinese export pieces that are decorated, when they're decorated this well, if you flip them over, usually they're also very well potted. You'll notice how neatly this beautifully done foot rim is on this. Beautifully done, and a nice thick glaze with a slight orange peel texture to it, fairly typical of these better pieces. And this did very well. It brought $880. It was from a seller, Middleman Brokers down in Florida had that. It was a nice looking thing. And then it wouldn't be, the last few weeks we've seen these panels turning up. There must have been something that broke up, a collection of something in California. This was another one that came up. A few weeks ago we saw a set of them that brought $3,300. Last week there was one that brought $700 and change. And then you had this sort of large horizontal one of sort of, it looks like a court scene, and all this beautiful deep carved work and gilt paint all over it, and it sold for $810, which is right on the money for these. A nice looking thing though. And then over here, the garden barrels. There was a pair of these that turned up. Here they are. Late Qing, possibly early Republic period. Pause. All right, there we are. A little phone interruption. And this is a very nice pair of garden barrels. I like the light and dark blue enameling on the outside of it. And then they have these big rebuses going around in yellow. Really interesting color combinations. And this is a late Qing, early Republic example. They were exported to the West. They turn up once in a while in this pattern. Rather nice, and these are popular. The pair ended up selling for $3,061. This was Handy's Antiques up in Staten Island, New York had these. Very attractive. Nightmare to ship, though. Really are. And then this very, very pretty. This was Ceramics and Collectibles. The Shangri-La guys, I call them, over in the Netherlands had this very nice little tea jar with an applied metal lid and Dalsai enamels. This was quite attractive, very much in the 18th century style. They did Ming examples somewhat like this, but the enamels on this are a little bit different because it's 19th century. But very nice underglazed blue decoration, beautiful white creamy glaze, and absolutely great top that somebody added onto it. It's probably a pewter lid, and it sold for $656, which is absolutely fine. Good looking piece of porcelain, quite interesting. And then hop over here. This was something I put on there last week. We don't usually do a lot with fixed price things, but these turned up. These are fixed price, and they haven't sold yet. If you're a Hirado buyer, you want to look at these. This is a really nice pair of Hirado beakers with chimeras on the necks here and here, but beautifully done. Beautifully done. These were made on the island of Hirado. Quite excellent. Here's a picture of the bottom of them. They're Meiji period, judging by the decoration and color and so forth. Very fine quality, absolutely lovely, and they are nice. What are they? About 8 or 9 inches, as I recall, in height. 8 7/8 inches. So they're nice looking table beakers for $1,000. Okay, I think that's very, very reasonable. $500 a piece for a good, fine quality Hirado with handles still intact. Very nice. And then this sold this week by Yuksang sterling silver teapot on stand. Very beautiful. This is the seller Super Shrink had this. Really, really lovely example. Here's the stand, off the stand. I love that. I love the hinges on these. They always do so beautifully. Very neat, very tidy, and this bamboo handle and bamboo spout with a dragon. And there's the mark on the bottom. Yuksang, he is in the silver book on the reference section at the site, and it ended up selling for $1,401, which isn't bad at all. That's a nice thing. And then what's coming up is a few things coming up too. One of them is that Josh Chamberlain Juice 1499 on eBay. He's got a sale up of some now Asian things. We'll have them all on the newsletter page this week. He's gotten a nice lot of Chinese silks, and one of them is this this sort of priest robe, but beautifully decorated. It's up to $6,000. It's got a ways to go yet, I think, but very fine quality needlework, and it appears to be in excellent, excellent condition. Late Qing, beautifully done dragons, no pulls, no tears. These things look like they've been in a trunk since about the day they were made. And then you have this very fine damask ground with a dragon sort of rank badge in the center here, shaped like a rank badge. It's not technically a rank badge, but beautifully done. Here's a picture of the collar with the double phoenixes, and check the quality of the needlework. Very, very well done. Shading of the flowers and so forth. There's the badge up close. It's got a couple of pulls on it, but part of the pulls are from the seam. You notice there's a seam going up the middle. Part of that will wear on that. But at any rate, these are absolutely beautifully done pieces of silk. He's got that, and then he's got this, a dragon robe right here. A really nice one. This is one of those, let's see, 3, 5, 8 dragons. Beautifully done. There'll be the same number on the back, typically. Center and then lower section. Here we go. Nicely done. It looks to be in quite good condition. The skirts are nice on it. Skirt is nice on it. There's a good shot of the dragon. He's got a nice facial expression on him. He looks like he's shocked. And it's up to $3,650. We'll have this, of course, will be in the newsletter page. It closes on Monday. But if you're a robe buyer, you want to check it out. The sleeves are also nice. They're full length and still in good shape. So check out Josh's sale. And then this was sold over on Katawiki last week. It was this very nice, rather large Famille Rose vase. Beautiful colors, beautiful tonal quality to this, and top-notch detail decoration. The quality of the decoration on this was quite excellent all the way around, including this sort of shaped rim upper section. And this was, how tall was this? It was about 25 inches tall, 65 centimeters in height. Ended up selling, I think, fairly reasonably, very reasonably actually, 1,900 euros. All right, that's not bad for that. That's not bad at all. Because as you know, we've seen these before in that size and in this quality. The quality has a lot to do with it. Ended up selling for, $3,000 to $5,000 a piece. So that was a pretty good buy. And there's those Hirado pieces again. I'd set them aside. You don't want to look at them twice. Oh, this Famille Rose ginger jar, 18th century jar. Looks like a nice one. Late 18th century, Qianlong period. Possibly Jiaqing, but probably Qianlong, judging by it. But beautiful blue enamels, nice big vibrant flowers all over it. Very well done base. That's the nice bottom you want to see with that good white paste, neatly trimmed. Few black spots underneath, which are typical for those, and you almost want to see that. And there are the turnings where you can see where they shaped and smoothed down the unglazed upper portion for the lid. Very, very nice looking pot. Really is. That's a good one. It's up to $683. It closes Sunday. It'll probably go up another $400 or $500 anyway. But very desirable color, nice condition, and a good shape. Very pretty. And that's the rest of Josh's sale, and that is the rest. Oh, that was another group of sales we were looking at. But anyway, that's it for about the week. Have a great weekend. There's a lot going on with the new website. We'll be updating fully the global member pages tomorrow. A lot of stuff sold yesterday, and more things are closing today, and we're going to do it all at once. We updated the page 2 days ago, and a whole lot of things have sold since then. It's been very, very busy over there, and those of you that use it and then send in inquiries have been very active. Thank you. It's been real interesting because sometimes I get a better chance to look at things even more closely when there's an inquiry, because I try to give good information, and it's been quite a week. It's been quite a week. But we'll update the newsletter page this afternoon. It'll be ready tonight by the time you see this video. If you haven't signed up for it yet, please do. If you haven't come over to Bidamount and visited us or come to the BidamountLive site, please do. And we'll see you all next week. There'll be something new to talk about. All right. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.